When I capture that perfect shot, it's just the best feeling in the world.
Alright, let's stop here for a moment. Obviously, you know where this is going, and you've probably seen the title. OnePlus premiered several days ago. OnePlus showed us the OnePlus 9 and the OnePlus 9 Pro. And what it actually made me do, right, it made me buy a Xiaomi phone. And I will explain why I took this decision, right? And it was not a very impulsive decision, you know. A bit of a history. I sold my OnePlus 8 Pro really some months ago, and I was really hoping to put everything on pre-order on the 23rd of March. Okay, but let's just look.
Thank you, John, and thank you, Pete. I'm so excited to tell you more about the OnePlus 9 Pro. As Pete said, we've taken our biggest leap forward in creating a great smartphone camera with this device. Over the years, smartphone camera technology has improved a lot, and developments in computational photography have really pushed the limits of what smartphone cameras can achieve. But there's so much more we can do to make them even better. A great camera brings together two elements: the best technology and the most beautiful aesthetics.
Now at this point of time, I was really very intrigued, right? You know, a person like me, if you bring technology and aesthetics in one sentence, and I'm just about to reach for my pocket, take my money out and hand it over to you.
Hasselblad has developed its unique aesthetics, an approach to color accuracy based on years of feedback from expert photographers from around the world. Since late last year, we've been working closely with them to fine-tune the color of the OnePlus 9 series camera system at a level that's pretty much unprecedented in the smartphone industry. Together, we've managed to achieve more natural color with a high amount of detail and dynamic range for a unique Hasselblad feel. Our natural color calibration with Hasselblad brings more perceptually accurate colors to photos taken with the OnePlus 9 series, whether you're shooting with the ultra-wide, main camera, or even the telephoto lens.
At this point of time, I want to clarify something. A lot of the reviews that I've seen on the internet are quoting color science. Now, behind this color science, we actually have Hasselblad performing color calibration for the main sensor and the ultra-wide for the upcoming OnePlus 9 and OnePlus 9 Pro, right? So when they say color science, yeah, just don't imagine people sending people to the moon or even to Mars, right? It is just fine-tuning the colors, more natural colors, right?
And we're not just working with them on the engineering side either.
And this is very important. I want to go back to this. We're not working with them just on the engineering side. Just memorize this because I'm going to go back to this.
A select group of Hasselblad ambassadors are also actively involved in the joint development process. These experts have shared numerous sample photos and have given us
Alright, from now on, I think the whole story is a bit clear and you all watched the review and the photos were really stunning, right? Well, what we've seen come here to life are really absolute stunning photos. A lot of these photos, by the way, were already pre-leaked by the Pete Lowe himself, by the CEO himself. And I was saying this on my Telegram channel, and I think I also made a video about this. Don't take these things for granted, because even when they shoot the portrait of the old woman, there are some people hanging in the background. They're almost looking for perfect conditions, guys, alright? And sometimes even we have studio lighting, right? So it is perfect conditions. Photography requires light, so the more light we have, the better the picture is. And the more light we have, the more smartphones are capable to do better pictures. And now I just want to show you guys something. I did a video some time ago. The video was titled Why I Changed Xiaomi Mi 9 with the OnePlus 7. Before that, I was a big Xiaomi fan. I used a lot of Xiaomi phones, the Mi 4, Mi 5, Mi 6, a lot of Redmi Notes, Mi 5S, Mi 8, which was pretty much a stunning piece of hardware. And then Mi 9 was my last phone, right? Because Mi 9 was the first phone from the flagship series of Xiaomi where they removed the OIS. And now, okay, what is OIS? Okay, this optical image stabilization. Alright, now I'm gonna run a bit this video so that you understand what exactly optical image stabilization is and why it does matter. And I think the second reason I said was the battery, first reason is curiosity, and then the third reason, guys, has just
three letters. Can you guess?
Can you guess already?
It's OIS. It's the optical image stabilization. And when actually the Mi 9 was released, I was a little bit furious, guys, with the people decided from Xiaomi to release the Mi 9 without implementing the OIS. Now the Mi 5 had a very nice 4-axis OIS optical image stabilization. The Mi 6 had it, the Mi 8 had it. Okay, but the Pocophone didn't have, the Mi 5S didn't have, and then the Mi 9 didn't have it, alright? And it's not that it does not make really such like a drastic difference, but especially, in low light conditions, maybe on non-moving objects, I can tell that the OnePlus 7 can make better photos.
Alright, now back to the video, guys. So Xiaomi removed the optical image stabilization, and at the same time, the only reason for me to buy the Mi 9 was the fact that one of the pixels also were not having OIS, and Google was saying that, we are now so far ahead into advanced computational photography so that we don't really need OIS. Sadly, that's not the case. I think and I hope that you got pretty much the idea of why OIS is important, and now you're asking me, hey VST, but how is this linked to the OnePlus 9 and OnePlus 9 Pro? And I can and I will explain. Last year, when OnePlus 8 was released, I bought it and I was in love with it. I called the OnePlus 8 the Small 8 Pro. It was really a perfect phone. It didn't really have wireless charging, but it was really giving you a great experience. Now this year, for the first time, OnePlus removed the optical image stabilization from the OnePlus 9. Okay, some might say, yeah, but they put 15 watt wireless charging. But guess what? This 15 watt wireless charging only supported in North America and in Europe. So what about India and what about China? I mean, how can you disregard markets like this? Not to say that it does really have a plastic frame, right? So who puts a plastic frame in a little flagship device? Because OnePlus 8 was almost near flagship, right? And now we're gonna go back to the OnePlus 9 Pro, and I'm gonna share something that I put over in my Telegram channel. And by the way, if you wanna have chat with me and people like us, just join the channel. We are 328 guys, but it's just myself, then Vivek, Marty, Atul, and some other guys that just take participation. So if you wanna have a chat with us, please welcome. The link will be down into the video description. And I said what I don't like, right? And Vivek said here in the chat, yeah, it didn't live up to the hype they created, but 9 Pro is a very competitive device and a big upgrade from already good 8 Pro. And I absolutely agree. The only problem that I see is that Pete Lowe himself, not only he leaked the whole event up front, right? Which I don't understand. I mean, I don't understand why the Chinese companies do like this, right? But they're very good at marketing, right? So what has happened is that he has really hyped us so much, and I said it, if OnePlus are not able to deliver and live up to the hype, I think they're gonna be done. And we were just expecting, or myself, I was expecting not a great camera experience. I was expecting the best camera in a smartphone. And we have a very strong competitor this year in the Galaxy S21 Ultra. I know it has its own issues, actually, Snapdragon, whatever, but it's a very consistent and nice premium camera with 3x optical and 10x optical and etc. So what do we have here? We have the 9 Pro, right? We have an uplifted price again compared to last year, right? People said it on the internet. Dave Today said that Hasselblad is nothing more but corporate clickbait. I mean, this sounds awful, but this Hasselblad thing turned out to be nothing special. And hey, it's not the first time we see something like this, because we saw Hasselblad already failing the cooperation with Motorola, right? I want to show you guys something. Let me just type Hasselblad here. So I'm gonna go to the Hasselblad site, right? And I'm gonna scroll down, just scroll down, okay? I'm gonna open Facebook, I'm gonna open Instagram, and I'm gonna open Twitter, alright? This is now Hasselblad's Facebook, okay? See, there is nothing. There is absolutely nothing about OnePlus 9 event, okay? Let's just scroll down to March 23rd, nothing. Okay, this is here the official Hasselblad's Instagram. There is nothing. And now Hasselblad's Twitter, right? And if you go and scroll down to the 23rd, where was this? There was only one thing here. Oh, I don't see it either. Because I thought, here, yes. Since 1941 Hasselblad has been devoted, blah 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 blah. Today we're glad to bring Hasselblad's iconic design and uncompromising image quality to mobile devices and OnePlus 9. Well, what is this iconic design? It's just a sound of a shutter and then an orange button, right? People are saying on the internet color science, but we've seen the pictures and we've seen the first reviews, and they're not really very favorable, right? So actually it's a bit weird, right? But let me go back to the chat, right? They only did mention OnePlus briefly, and then there were problems. OnePlus 9 Pro doesn't really even have 5G on AT&T in the US, right? The OnePlus 9 doesn't have wireless charging outside North America and EU. It also, of course, doesn't have OS, and it has a plastic frame, right? And I'm not saying that OnePlus is a bad company. It's a Chinese smartphone company, and they're not bad. They're actually very good. But they're lacking innovations. The only innovation is putting a very big sensor into the ultra-wide camera and saying that it's using a freeform lens to avoid distortion. But hell, with a big sensor like we have on the S21 Ultra, one can do this also with software cropping. And Superstaff compared it, so you can go and check, you know, his video. Right, so the only color science that we're getting is just a fine-tuning of the colors. I don't think it's really science there. Right? And we also know that one of the other biggest news was the customized Sony IMX789 sensor, which was not really the star of the event, right? They always put it back to Hasselblad, Hasselblad, Hasselblad and the color science. But the biggest star should have been the Sony IMX789 sensor, because the OnePlus 9 and 9 Pro camera is actually a very nice camera, right? The only problem is we expected it to be the best camera, and they failed us, right? They failed us. That's what I can say right now. Maybe it's going to improve in the future with software updates, maybe, right? But you know, next week we're going to have the Mi 11 Pro and we're going to have the Mi 11 Ultra, and they are going to feature the Samsung GN2 huge sensor. So what I'm saying is, guys, and not exactly in this order, top 3 cameras in the smartphone in the year 2021 is gonna be Samsung S21 Ultra, it's gonna be Apple iPhone 13 Pro Max, and most probably it's gonna be either the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra or the Huawei P50 Pro. So OnePlus again, probably in the top 5, but they cannot make it in the top 3. Okay, camera of course is very, very important for me, as you can tell, but there are other things, you know. Pricing policy is very unfair. These phones are very cheap in some markets, very expensive in some other markets. The whole tiering is very crazy. I mean, how can you offer 8 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage? This is really strange, right? Don't get me wrong, not bad phones, right? But it becomes extremely hard for me to recommend them at this price tag. Not to mention slow updates, not to mention problem with updates, because I suffered with the OnePlus 8 Pro. Security patches coming late. So we see what I mean? And that's why I hope you really got now the idea why I named the video like this. The OnePlus 9 only made me buy the Xiaomi Mi 11. And do you know why? Because I paid $719 US, right? $719 for the Xiaomi Mi 11 global version, you know, with Snapdragon 888, with I think a very nice camera. Again, it's 108 megapixel sensor. Of course, not probably the best camera experience. But at this price tag, I was like, okay, sorry, no, sorry, OnePlus. Sorry, for now, I'm just gonna go and get a Xiaomi phone, alright? This was my video, guys. Please stay safe. Sub will be much appreciated if you like what I do. And yeah, we're gonna see each other in one of the next videos. With that said, VST over. And, you know, don't trust the companies when they're trying to play tricks on us, alright? Don't trust them. Bye.